Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? This is Rebecca with the Boss Lady Resale and BexaBossLady.com, and I wanted to do a follow-up video today from the video I did yesterday about hitting my big milestone on Poshmark and being able to finally earn $10,000 on Poshmark, selling my used stuff, my husband's stuff, my friend's stuff, my mom's stuff, and all of that kind of fun, exciting things. And ever since I posted that video, I have received a bunch of questions and comments from you guys in messages on Instagram and on YouTube. So I thought I would take a little bit of time and do a Q&A type of thing where I go through the questions that you asked me, and then hopefully that will resolve some of those, the frequently asked questions that I get, and people can just kind of come over to this video and learn what I have to say, if you care what I have to say. But because I do like sharing my success with everyone, my failures, ways that you can make more money, do things better, and of course become the queen of side hustling like moi. So let's just get started. Now, I started tracking my sales in September of last year, and then before that I hadn't really tracked much of anything because I really was just sporadically selling things here and there. So I wanted to do a little bit of a breakdown based on my spreadsheet. So my spreadsheet shows a total sales with 372 items. There's total sales of $9,812. Okay, so that's the total amount. That's the price that the items sold for on Poshmark. My cost of the items that I ended up purchasing and then ultimately reselling was $2,046. My take of that was $5,007. My take of the total sales is $7,726, and my profit on the $9,812 is $5,679. Now, that is only on 372 items. So I'm missing about 90 items and a bunch of revenue from that to equate into this. But if you look at the total and then what I paid to resell items and then my profit, it's a decent profit margin even with Poshmark taking that 20%. Now, what I want to emphasize is you have to be consistent with this. You are not going to be able to sign into Poshmark and list 100 things and make $10,000. This has been a consistent listing, selling, reviewing, sharing process over the last, year and a half, more recently, like I said, in the last 9 months, but it has taken me this long because I've been practicing changing up my photos, really being able to play with the system, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, how I like my store to look, what are people responding to, and it's not going to be perfect. So the best way is just to start. Just list, like I said, I gave you a challenge in the last video, if you haven't watched it yet, to find 10 things in your house, 10 things to list each week, and then just list them and see what happens and share them and those kind of things. I also had asked one of my friends who I taught how to sell on Poshmark when she started making sales, and I believe she said she started the beginning of April of this year, and she started making sales 3 weeks later. So it's not immediate. Poshmark is definitely a site you have to nurture and be involved in, but it's easier to list on than eBay, and the sharing you can do pretty much anywhere. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm gonna tell you where I share my stuff. So I share my stuff in bed in the morning, pretty much anytime I go to the bathroom, when I take baths, when we're driving somewhere, I'm in an Uber, when I go to bed, and when I'm watching TV. So I don't do it all day, every day like that, but those are examples of times where you're on your phone and you could be sharing your items. And so it doesn't seem as time consuming. So you can multitask. So that's one thing. So I gave you some of the numbers. Now, obviously my numbers are skewed because I did have a lot of things that were my own in that in that sales bracket, and I didn't include how much I paid for those items originally. So that's, the numbers are a little bit skewed there. But basically, if you take all of the stuff from your own house, your own closets, and you list them on Poshmark and they sell for $20 and Poshmark takes 20%, the rest of that money is yours. Now, one of the questions on here is taxes. I am not an accountant. I do not feel comfortable sharing tax advice with anyone. I do know that there is a threshold if you make over, I think it's $600, don't quote me on that, but if you make over a certain amount, you are supposed to claim it on your taxes as income. Now, if you can show a loss that, you know, all of these clothes you bought at Macy's for $50 and then you're selling them at a loss for $25, I think that's different, but you're gonna have to be able to prove that. I think in best case scenario, you'd probably have to be able to prove that. So as far as taxes, if you are genuinely interested in making Poshmark like a side business and you want to make it to the point where you're making, you know, $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, I think it's worth the investment to get a LLC, get an accountant, and help them figure out how you can write off deductions, business expenses, home office, storage, all of those kind of things. But that's kind of another level than what I'm comfortable talking about in this video. Plus, I'm not an accountant, like I said. So if you have questions like that and you're really serious about using Poshmark as a business, you definitely need an accountant who's familiar with reselling and retail, and that way you can make sure that you're safe when it comes to tax time. Poshmark does not, as of now, they do not send you a 1099 or whatever the form is that they send you. I don't think that's right, so scratch that. But there's a form that they send on income, and Poshmark so far does not, but I'm sure that will be changing. I can almost guarantee you that at some point down the road, they're gonna change that and then require, you know, you to claim this money on your taxes. So far, that was one of the questions. So I got the first one, which was how much are you actually making? The second one are your taxes. And then the third one is reporting. So Poshmark unfortunately does not have a reporting system. It's one of the things I really don't like about it, especially when you're selling, you know, 100 plus things a month. Individually entering them back into my spreadsheet can be tedious, but it's very important. So if you are getting started or you started and you're kind of in that process of figuring everything out, start a Google sheet, go to Google Docs, create a Google sheet, and start tracking your stuff. Now, last night, my husband and I did an Instagram live video. He is a chief data officer at Health System. So he is the data guy or the data guru in our house. And he and I are going to be doing a webinar on our system, okay, his system, but a webinar for that on the first week in July. We haven't exactly picked a date for that. So to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Instagram at Boss Lady Resale, so you don't miss out on that. And we'll show you how I track my sales, reporting, what numbers I look for, and all of that kind of stuff will be encompassed in that. So that's where I'm gonna go with reporting. Someone asked me a question about wholesale, the wholesale portal on Posh. I have been approved to sell wholesale on Poshmark through Poshmark. I have looked at some of the items to sell, and frankly, none of them really interest me to buy and then resell. Personally, and this is no disrespect to anyone who is doing wholesale on Poshmark and selling it, I think that Poshmark has become flooded with boutique and wholesale things, and it is honestly taking away from people who are really reselling their own stuff. So for me, I don't really would want to do that, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good business model. There's a lot of girls out there making a lot of money selling these wholesale items. So, and I keep looking over here because Poshmark's open. But so it's a possibility. Personally, I haven't used it. I don't anticipate using it. And so I really don't feel like I'm the one to come to answer that question. Someone asked me about a reseller license. That kind of ties back into the taxes, making sure that you are covered. If you have a reseller license. I believe that you can go to places like Goodwill and you don't pay taxes on those items. However, then you open the door to paying sales tax in your state and all of those kind of things. So there's other parameters that go along with that. It's important, like I said, that you get someone who knows this field, who knows they can help you, and that you can go to if you end up with, you know, an IRS audit or the tax department comes at you for sales tax, whatever. Make sure you have someone that you can trust who will help you through those things. I'm not that person. I am never ever afraid to admit that I don't know something. And I am also not afraid to admit, I am humble enough to say if I am wrong about something. So just so you guys know that, I just share what I know, what I believe, and if it's wrong, I will certainly make a retraction on it. There's no reason for me to want to lead people the wrong path. My goal is to truly help you make more money on the side and do all the things you want to do without, you know, stressing your finances or helping you pay off debt. My goal is not to, you know, steer you guys in the wrong direction. Okay, back to my Q&A. So the next question is a host pick. So I told you yesterday in the video a little bit about Poshmark Parties. Now, Poshmark Parties they're at the same time every day, but there's a different theme to them. And you wanna make sure you're sharing your items into there. But the other thing that I wanna talk about are host picks. So when you have a Posh party, there's usually 4 or 5 different people who are hosting the parties. And during the party, they pick things that they really like, and they'll comment on your host pick and say, yes, hey, we picked this with all these emojis, and people will comment on whatever. Now, when I first started on Poshmark, I used to get really excited about these. And I'd be like, oh, host pick, my item is gonna sell, and it's gonna sell right now, and it's gonna sell so quick, it's gonna be flying out of my closet. And then a few hours and days go by and it didn't sell and no one really cared. So I personally have not had the best experience with host picks. I love when I get them, but if I didn't, I would take a sale of an item over a host pick, okay? I would like money over a title of a host pick. Wouldn't you? That's just, you know. If host picks equaled sales in my closet, I would love host picks so much. But they don't, and so I'm not really worried about it. I just wanna make sure that the people who are shopping at that time, at that party, are seeing my stuff and are able to make a purchase if it's available. So that's my entire goal. Selfish, yeah. Smart business sense, yeah. So, you know, take care of your closet, share it, make sure people are seeing your stuff. Okay, now there's a lot of thoughts about this next topic, and I'm sure you know if you've been watching my videos, I have lots of opinions about everything, and I am gonna tell you my opinion on trades. I do not trade. Don't ask me to trade. I am not trading my item for something in your closet. The whole reason I'm doing this is to pay off medical bills, pay off debt, save money, go on a trip, pay my dog's medical bills, pay for his therapy, whatever. I don't need your Rebecca Minkoff bag for my Michael Kors bag. That's not why I'm doing this. I will trade you for dollars. I will trade you for dollar bills, PayPal money. You know, I will trade you for money. That's what I will trade you for. Now, that being said, I also know people and friends who have traded with other people, and some of it works out and some of it doesn't. Posh doesn't guarantee the purchase. You're supposed to mark both of your items at $3, and you buy each other's items and they use shipping label and blah, blah, blah. I personally have no desire to do it. If you want to, try it, see what happens. I would not do it on a high dollar item, that is for sure. If you have a pair of jeans you want to trade with someone, or a Coach wallet that's, you know, $20 and give it a try, I think that's fine. But you will not see me trading with anyone, and I'm sorry. If I want your item, I will buy it from you. And I would hope that if you want my item, you will buy it from me. And that's kind of the circle of life in the resale world. Okay. I don't even trade with my sister. Let's just get this clear. I hate sharing clothes and I hate trading clothes. Like, I just want to, I'm also, not to go off on a tangent, but I hate sharing food. When we go to restaurants where it's tapas and everyone's sharing, I just order my own meal because I order food that I want and I like, and I don't want to share with anybody. Sorry, I'm the oldest child. I don't want to share. I didn't want to share with her for the last 32 years. So anyway, I love you, sis. Okay. Okay, what is a bundle? Let's go back to Poshmark off of my little tangent. A bundle is where people put items in your closet. Let me see if I can show you. So people put items in your closet into a like shopping cart. And I will show you a bundle that I have made recently. So when you go into your likes, your dressing, I'm sorry, they changed it. So you go into your dressing room, which is the little hangers up here in the corner. So there's your dressing room, and you click on the little closet or the little hangers, and then you will see that there is a list of things. So there are your bundles you made, and then there are bundles that people made of your items. And what you want to do in here is anytime someone makes a bundle in your closet, you are able to go in there and make them a private offer. So let's see, this person here, someone already bought these pants, so it's not a really big deal. But this person put those pants in their shopping cart. So I can view their dressing room, and it's not in their cart anymore because someone bought it. But there would be an item, the item would be here, and it would say right here, make an offer. All you do is click that button and you make them an offer, and they take it or they don't, or they never respond. So, you know, that happens a lot too. But it's a way for you to, you know, be able to reach out to the people who are liking your stuff. Now, there are lots of people that put items in bundles that just want to see the price. So if you have a bundle discount already on your store for 15 or 20%, and I just want to see, okay, I'm going to put these 4 items in my bundle. That way I can see what that price is with that automatic discount. Some people put them in there as, you know, like a shopping cart, like I do on Amazon. I think I have like 8 things in my shopping cart on Amazon. Hopefully one night when I come home after I'm drinking, I just don't buy them all because it'd be like $600. But I know, and I have lists and I have save for laters. It's ridiculous. But the great feature now about this bundle is that you are able to make these private offers. So you can make an additional discounted offer for these folks who are able to bundle things together. And I would encourage you to do it as close as possible to someone bundling your items, because that means they're on Poshmark, they're looking at your stuff, and they might not have notifications on their phone. So if they might not get it until later, you know, the closer you can get to the time people are actually looking at and in your closet, the better the chances are that you'll be able to sell the item to them. It's just like any sales. I mean, I've worked in sales for so long. When I owned my gym, if I could get someone to commit to a personal training session or a membership or a workout thing while they were in my presence, they were much more likely to commit to it and come to it than if they just bought it down the road. And they're actually more likely to buy it if they do it right there versus down the road. So if you can get these people right when they're in your closet, that is the ideal situation. And but I have sold a bunch of bundles to people who, you know, put things in there, and I did a private offer and then they take it. So that's really helped me increase my sales. Okay, so bundles, got that. Cross listing. Do I cross list? Yes. I am very specific about what items I cross post on different websites. So on Poshmark, I tend to put more of the trendy brands, the youthful brands like Zara, Free People, J. Crew, Anthropologie, Lululemon, Madewell. all of the brands that are really cool and hot, but they're really expensive in the stores, sell really well. I tend to put those on Poshmark and on eBay. So those are cross-posted. The higher priced designer items I have that are over $50, I place those also on Tradesy. And Tradesy is great. It has its flaws, but I have sold, I think, 5 things now on Tradesy, and all of them sold for a higher dollar amount than I had them listed for on Poshmark and eBay. So, you know, you're gonna see that you have different price fluctuations moving around. Now, I have listed my vintage stuff on Etsy. I have not sold anything on there yet, so I really can't speak to, you know, how that process works. But I also have items that I don't list on eBay and I only list on Poshmark. So for me, it's been experimentation, growth, figuring out what's selling, using my spreadsheets to see where it's selling, when it's selling, how quickly it's sold, for how much, and being able to utilize that information and that data to push me forward. Being able to track that has been vital in what I've been buying, what I continue to buy, and you can see over time that my profit per item has increased based on my ability to source these items that are making me more money. Which leads me down to the next question. Someone asked me, what should I buy and what should I sell? Okay. No one can tell you this. No one can tell you the answer to this question. Are there things that sell very quickly and you get really excited about when you find them? Yes. For some reason, these dojo jeans sell like crazy. They're hotcakes. If you find dojo jeans, they will sell, okay? If you find men's affliction jeans, they sell very well and for a higher dollar amount. So there are items that you do know that they sell, and if you find them, you get really excited. Lululemon will sell if you wiped your butt on it, ran it through the washer, then rubbed your armpit in it, had your dog wear it, washed it again, dried it, and then shrunk it. Lululemon will sell no matter what. I have sold Lululemon with new tags, with stains on them, with holes in it, with pills in it. People don't care. People will buy Lululemon no matter what condition it is in. There are also sellers that make money by selling groups of damaged stuff. So you go and you buy, you don't have to buy it. Maybe you buy a bunch of stuff and you realize that 5 of the 30 things you purchased have stains or holes or tears or missing buttons or whatever, and you bundle them together. They're similar sizes and you sell them on eBay and you make money on them. There are people who fix things, sell things, sew things, you know, looking to fill a collection, whatever the case may be. They're buying these things. So it's important to note that no one can tell you what to buy. I can tell you what not to buy. I will tell you not to buy things solely based on what you see on social media. I will tell you not to buy things that your gut instinct tells you not to buy. I will tell you not to buy things that are not going to give you a profit margin of at least $10. It's so, by the time you make a profit of $10, especially if you're going to do this for a living, you have to take into account that you have to get paid from that money. You pay taxes out of that money. You are driving around using gas and mileage to buy all these things. So, you know, you have home office expenses, you have a printer, shipping supplies, all of those things tie into that. So if you really need to decide how much money you're going to make per item, and those are the items you should buy. Those are the items you should seek and buy in order to make a profit. I'll tell you one thing to buy: Dansko nursing shoes. If you check the heel first, if they're in good condition, I paid a lot. They call it paying up, so you buy it up. So I bought it at a thrift store for like $17. I sold them for $45. It wasn't the best margin. I would have preferred to buy them at $8 or $5 or $2, but I'll take a nice profit margin like that. So one of the things is trying things out, which is why I can't emphasize it enough that you take things out of your own closet and you look them up, you do your research on them, and then you list them. There is no point in wasting your time listing things like Walmart White Stag on Poshmark. There are certain things that just don't sell. Now, there are really cute Merona and Mosimo and those things that will sell that from Target on there, and that's fine. People will buy that stuff, but it's not everything. If I took this Mosimo, this is a Merona Target tank top. If I decided I was gonna sell this on Poshmark, I would make $0 on it. No one would buy this. It's not, it's not very exciting. But if you have a really cute pair of floral Merona dress pants that maybe you wore a couple times to work or they just don't fit you anymore, I'm sure someone would probably buy those. You're not gonna make your $30 back or whatever you paid for it, but you might make $10 on them. So do your research. Like I said, pick 10 things in your closet that you don't wear, you don't like, that don't fit you, that in your husband's closet, whatever the case may be. Find them, look them up, and decide whether or not they're worth selling. If you search the solds on Poshmark or eBay, and there are 3 things that have sold in the same thing or a similar thing, it's not even worth listing. If you see that it's selling and there's a lot of traction, there's a lot of things on there, then yes, go ahead and try to list it. But I want you to get in the habit of listing things that you know there's a good chance that your hypothesis is correct, that they're gonna sell and for a decent dollar amount. And then start, like I said, keep your spreadsheet, keep tracking it, and then you can kind of start buying things and add to your collection. This is how several of my friends have started on Poshmark. They started with their own closet, then they realized what they wanted to look for, what they want their closet and their brand to look like, and then they've built from there. This is not an overnight, I'm gonna quit my job tomorrow and sell on Poshmark. It's just not. It's a great way to make extra money though. So, and it's an easy way. Once you get the hang of it, it's an easy way. Okay, last question kind of ties into this, which is how much do you spend per week on inventory? I have been backing off a little bit on inventory simply for the fact that I have been doing these videos. I am about to start a 30-day challenge. If you're interested in that, go to my Instagram page at Boss Lady Resale. There is a link in my bio there, and I'll put it in here too. The challenge starts July 30th. July 1st. It's a fitness and business challenge called the Health and Hustle Challenge. And we will be focusing on health and weight loss and business stuff and all of that. So it's $30 if you'd like to join us. Click the link, love to have you. If not, just head over to Instagram. I post tons of tips and things like that. But you gotta spend what you have. So if you sell $100 of your own stuff, I would set a certain dollar amount where you keep some, save some, buy some. So if you make $100, maybe you keep 40 of it, you keep 40, you spend 20, and then 20 is for, taxes or whatever the case may be. Or if you don't plan on spending, really doing it for business, you just do it for hobby, you can put the 20 back into your inventory as well. It's up to you. If you want to do it as a business, you're going to have to invest some money in really, going out and sourcing and finding inventory, finding the right stuff, bringing it back, listing it, and all that kind of stuff. So it depends on what your goals are. And I think the point of this whole video, is to help you understand a little bit more of how I got to where I did, but also know that it's not easy. And I will say, if I just did Poshmark only, I probably would spend 10 hours a week on it based on I have about 250 listings right now, and I like to keep it around there on my store. So I probably, if I only did Poshmark, would spend, about 10 to 15 hours a week. However, I sell on Poshmark, eBay, Tradesy, Instagram, Facebook groups, blah, 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 Etsy, whatever. So for me, I spend a lot more time co-listing, cross-listing, and that kind of stuff. But this is what I have been doing. I don't do this full time. I probably spend about 20 to 25 hours a week on this. And then the other time I spend doing other business ventures and blogging and those kind of things. So if I wanted to do this full time and I wanted to spend, my entire week doing this, I am confident that after all of this time I have been doing this, so I've been selling for 10 years now, I believe and I am confident that I could do this full time. I choose and do not want to do this full time. I enjoy doing this. It is a great hobby. It is an excellent way to make money, but I have other things that I want to do that allows me the flexibility to do those things and to grow other businesses that I have, and that's why I do it. So I think for you, what would be a great tool is to kind of sit down and say, why do I want to do this? Is it to make extra money, to pay off debt, to go on a vacation, whatever? And what are my goals? If your goal is to simply make a couple $100s a month, that's awesome. That is great. Use that money to go to Disney, travel around the world, have a baby, whatever. That's great. I mean, everyone could use extra money every month. That's just, duh. But set your goals and make them realistic. Don't set out to say, I'm gonna quit my job next month and start selling, reselling when you've never done it before. I mean, I guess you could. I don't believe you should. I don't think that's a good idea, but I don't live your life and I don't pay your bills. So if you choose to do that, there definitely are enough resources out there, to be able to do that. But what I hope to instill and teach you guys in these videos is that it is possible to make money. It is possible to use this as a great side hustle that's, flexible, allows you to do other things. You can do it in your own time. And I really enjoy doing it. And I think that's why I've been successful, is that I enjoy doing it. If you start doing this and you hate it, the chances of you really being successful are not very high. Just like anything else, if you decide you're gonna play a new sport and you hate it, you're not gonna keep going. Or if you try a new food and it's disgusting to you, you're not gonna go back and keep eating it, right? So this is the same thing. Set your expectations to just try it out, test the waters. I can't tell you enough. Do 10 items a week out of your own house. Pick 10 things, list them, see what happens. Trial it out, make your documentation and that stuff. Anyway, I think I've rambled on enough for the day. As always, I appreciate you guys so much taking the time to watch my videos. I really hope they help you. My next video will be about how I feel 12 weeks post surgery, and I'm really, really am amped up to film that one. But as I will keep posting these, if you want to join our challenge, I'll put the link below. It will take you to the site. You can look it out, check it out, look it up. And I hope to see you next time on my video. I appreciate you watching. As always, have a wonderful day and best of luck to you making money on Poshmark. Bye.